So continuing with coordination compounds, now we discuss some important definitions. Question is define coordination sphere, ionization sphere, primary valency, secondary valency, coordination number, so first of all we will be taking this definition coordination sphere. So it is the species which are included in the square bracket or the species which are joined together by means of coordinate bond and are represented in the coordination sphere square bracket. They are called as coordination sphere. So the species present in coordination square bracket. So for example, we have FeCN6 3 negative. This is our coordination sphere. And if something is present outside, this is our ionization sphere. So the species which are present outside the coordination sphere, they are called as ionization sphere. These species may be positively charged, which are present outside the coordination sphere. They are present in the beginning, or they may be negatively charged. This is ionization sphere, this is coordination sphere. So second definition is, what is ionization sphere? So these are the ions present outside the coordination sphere. The ions which are present outside the coordination sphere, they are called as ionization sphere species, and when they are dropped in water, this complex when dropped in water, these ions will be separated from the coordination complex. Then we have coordination number. So it is the number of coordinate bond formed by the transition metal ion is the coordination number. The number of coordinate bonds formed by transition metal ion. This is called as coordination number. In this case, coordination number is C6. In complex number 1, and coordination number is 4 in complex number 2. Then we have the next definition, complex ion. We have already done this definition. Then we have primary valency. It is the valency possessed by transition metal ion in normal ionic compound. For example, in copper sulfate, primary valency of copper is 2. Then we have secondary valency. The valency which is completed through coordinate bonds. This valency is completed through coordinate bonds, that is called as secondary valency. Then we have charge on complex ion. It is the algebraic sum of the charges. First we have complex ion, we have already done this definition. Then we have charge on complex. it is the algebraic sum of charges of metal ion and ligands bound to it by coordinate bond. कोऑर्डिनेट बॉन्ड से जो लिगेंड बंधे हुए हैं उनका चार्ज और मेटल आयन का चार्ज सम कर लिया जाए. दैट चार्ज इज कॉल्ड एज द चार्ज ऑन द कॉम्प्लेक्स. देन वी हैव द नेक्स्ट, हाउ टू कैलकुलेट द valency or oxidation number of the complex ion. So this will be the second question of our second lecture, how to calculate oxidation number of transition metal ion. The oxidation number of transition metal ion in the coordinated complex, it can be calculated by following oxidation number rules, where X is assumed the oxidation number of transition metal ion, and the remaining species, the remaining ligand, their oxidation number should be known to us, as we have already defined the oxidation number of all the species in a redox reaction at 11th level. Now let us calculate the oxidation number of iron in this case. So we have to calculate oxidation number of iron. We write X for it and write oxidation number of these species above their symbols. Total oxidation number is written just below their symbols. Now our equation is x plus 3 minus 6. It is equated to 0 because this complex was having no charge. Now x comes out to be 3 here. So iron is here tripositive in this case. Similarly, we come to another complex, that is cobalt trioxylato. Trioxylato cobalt, cobaltate 3 complex. Write X here, you have oxylato minus 2 oxidation number, X minus 6, that is equal to minus 3. Since it was having overall charge of minus 3, then X will be plus 3 here. So cobalt is also present here in plus 3 states. Then we have tetramine copper 2 sulfate. This is our complex ion, sulfate is left. So X for this is 0, X is equal to plus 2. So copper is plus 2 here. So in this manner we can calculate the oxidation number of different transition metal ion in different coordination complexes. Then we have next question, question number 3. What is Sidgwick theory? Or what is effective atomic number rule? So Sidgwick theory or effective atomic number rule states that any transition metal ion, when it is present in the coordinated state, if its electrons as well as those of electrons of the ligand which are coordinated to it, if they are counted, it must be nearer to some noble gas. So let us see, we count the complex ions in this case. This is our first complex. Let us see how many electrons are occupied by this complex. So in this case we see iron is plus 3 here. So iron atomic number is, we know the series Sakti, Wakar, Manfi. It is 24, 25, 26 minus 3 because it was plus 3, so it is 26 minus 3. It has 23 electrons. Each cyanide can contribute 2 electrons because it is a monodentate ligand. 6 cyanide will contribute 12 electrons. So total electron number is 35. It is near to krypton, that is 36. When we see this complex, cobalt trioxylato, cobalt trioxylato. In this complex, atomic number of cobalt is 27. It is in +3 state, so subtracting 3 we get cobalt electrons. They are 24 here, oxalate. Each oxalate is contributing 2 electrons, so 4 electrons rather. So we'll be having 6 coordination number. So oxalate contributes 12 electrons here, total number 36 electrons. It is nearer to krypton, equal to krypton. So if you count the total number of electrons according to effective atomic number rule or Sedgwick theory, the total number of electrons they must be a nearer to a noble gas configuration. Then we have the next question of this lecture, that will be question number 3. Write postulates of Warner theory of complexes. Sorry. Now what is Warner theory of complexes? Now let us see the postulates of this theory. First postulate of this theory is every metal, every transition metal which enters in the coordination chemistry, it has two types of valency. One is primary valency, another is secondary valency. We have defined both the valencies. So what are the postulates of Warner theory of complexes? First postulate. Every metal has two types of valence. They are number one, primary valency, which is satisfied by metal ion in the normal ionic compounds. Then we have secondary valency, satisfied by metal ion through coordinate bonds, and metal has the tendency to satisfy both of their valency. Metal tends to satisfy both of them. Primary valencies, they are satisfied through ionic bonds, and secondary valencies, they are satisfied through covalent coordinate bonds. Then in the structure, primary valencies are shown by dotted lines, and secondary by thick lines. For example, we have a complex fourth, sometime same ligand will satisfy both valencies. Warner represented the complexes like this. For example, we have one complex COCl3 6NH3. By modern representation, this complex should be written like this. So in this case, 6 ammonia, they are joined through secondary valency through coordinate bond, 3 chloride joined through the primary valency, the ionic bonds. Now we draw the structure of this compound. Cl is joined by dotted lines to cobalt, and ammonia is joined by thick lines. We have 6 ammonia, so 6 thick lines will be around cobalt. So this is our first complex according to Warner theory. Then if we reduce one of the ammonia molecule, if it is made 5NH3, then one chlorine will satisfy both the valencies, in this case cobalt. One chlorine satisfied both valencies. It is joined by dotted line as well as thick line. Other chlorine are joined by dotted line. Ammonia are now 5. So this is according to Warner theory. Similarly, if you reduce one more ammonia, then 2 chlorine will be doing the same job. If you reduce one more ammonia, then all the 3 chlorine, they will be doing double job here. So this is regarding Warner theory of complexes. Later on, the Warner representations, they are now represented as the modern representation, and in these representation, the secondary valencies, they are shown in the square bracket, while primary valencies, they are shown by ionization sphere, they are shown outside the coordination sphere. So this is regarding the Warner theory of complexes. Then we come to the next topic. What is coordination polyhedron? So coordination polyhedron, it is the spatial geometry acquired by a solid through ordered arrangement of its ligand in the space around the transition metal ion. So our next question, question number 4 will be, what is coordination polyhedron? The answer to this question is, it is a spatial arrangement of the ligands directly attached to metal atom or ion through transition through coordinate bonds. So in the space, these spatial positions, they give coordination polyhedron of the central metal ion. For example, some complexes, they are tetrahedral, their polyhedron is tetrahedral. Some complexes, they have octahedral polyhedron. It all depends upon the number of ligands and the arrangement of those ligands around transition metal ions. For example, tetramine copper 2 complex, it is tetrahedral because our copper is sp3 hybridized. Then we have NiCO4 neutral complex, it is also tetrahedral. Then we have nickel cyanide, it is square planar, having DsP2 hybridization. So they have different geometries. Similarly, we have CONH3 6. This is having octahedral geometry, having sp3d2 hybridized. So different complexes, they have different geometry and they produce different number of ions in the aqueous solution. If we have the first complex, it is having sulfate, it will produce 2 ions. Coordination number, if we want to know, it is 4 in case of copper, and this will produce only no ion. Coordination number is 4 in this complex. In this case, 2 negative charge is there, you can write here K2, so it will be producing 3 ions. All 3 ions, 2 ions, these potassium, 1 ion is complex ion, so its coordination number is 4, 4 ligands joined through coordinate bond. Now in this case, it is having 3 chloride here, it will be producing 3 plus 1, 4 ions in the aqueous solution, and its coordination number is 6. So we can also establish their coordination number in called coordination polyhedron. We can tell how many ions a particular species can produce in the solution. So this is regarding the few important questions of the lecture number 2. Then we'll start with the nomenclature of coordination compound in the next lecture. Thank you very much.